Oh, Alpine, here we go again. So after Ocon jumped ship, rather literally, the French Monaco are in need of a driver to line up alongside the gas man here for 2025. That seat, which appears to either be a blessing or a curse depending on what day of the week it is, appeared to be heading in the direction of one of two drivers. You have the ex-Haas racer and rapid disassembler Mick Schumacher, and next to him sits the team's long-time junior and development driver, Jack Doohan. The pair have had an array of F1 tests in recent weeks to evaluate who's best for the job in 2025, and since the cost cap still exists, as I write this video, things look to be heading the direction of Doohan here. That said, my recent takes have this little issue of being younger than a Chris Tyson victim before they age like shit at the moment. Regardless, I'm pretty convinced Jack is getting that seat, which means it's time for one of those videos. So with that being said, hey there guys, I'm Josh Revel, welcome to FP1, and who the hell is Jack Doohan? Jack Doohan was born in Queensland, Australia, which according to this tweet in my comments section is somewhere here. If the name sounds at all familiar to you, you may well know of his dad, Mick Doohan, who's famous for winning 5 consecutive motorcycle championships and crashing quite a lot.
If I faced the same obstacles on the racetrack that you do on the road, I'd probably be dead.
I think I've just found my new favourite advert of all time. Nah, actually, this one still beats it.
Since 2000, speeding has killed a classroom of our children.
Getting back on track, and Doohan would start karting in 2012, receiving his first kart from his neighbour, famous racing driver and skier Michael Schumacher. I'm gonna hell. Long story short, he was winning Australian championships within 3 years before moving to the European scene in 2017, winning a bit there as well, and since no one really gives a f*** about this bit, let's get to his actual racing career. The end of 2017 would see Doohan sign a deal with the One-Eyed Devil and in return get backing from the Red Bull Junior team, which leads us into 2018, marking Doohan's first foray into single-seaters, competing in the British F4 Championship and actually doing rather well. For a first attempt, P5 in the standings with 3 wins and 12 podiums isn't bad at all. Jack narrowly missing out on 4th to fellow Red Bull junior Dennis Hauger in a championship which was won by a guy called Kian Jewis, who I've never f***ing heard of. 2019 wouldn't quite be so fruitful though, in what in retrospect was simply a preparation year for Doohan, with eyes set on FIA Formula 3 for 2020. He did come second in the F3 Asian Championship, but quite frankly, this had the competition of the Set 8 Kids on Sports Day. According to Wikipedia, he did beat a literal dragon though. To remind Jack what real racing drivers look like, he had a go at Euro Formula Open that year too. Now he found himself alongside the likes of Yuki Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, and Pastor Maldonado's cousin. Yet things didn't go very well. Despite landing on the rostrum on 2 occasions throughout the year, this wasn't a great one for Doohan here, who would finish way down in 11th in the standings. Maybe 2020 would be better then. In fact, it would need to be, as the Aussie was now fighting on the world stage in Formula 3. Only problem was he was driving an HWA, which might as well stand for huge waste of arseholes. I don't know, I couldn't find a way to make the A work. Bottom line is they were Doohan's unfortunate teammates would be future Red Bull junior Enzo Fittipaldi and Jake Hughes, who in Formula 3 terms was old enough to be some of these guys' grandparents at this stage. Hughes' experience allowed him to somehow make that HWA car do things it wasn't designed for, leaving us to compare Doohan against Fittipaldi, and frankly it wasn't much of a competition. Jack getting bent suspension off of bent Viscal kinda summed this year up. Not a single finish in the points, compared to Fittipaldi's 27 and Hughes' 111.5. Questions were now arising over whether Doohan should remain on Marco's special favours list, but he'd stay there for 1 more year, remaining in F3 and ditching HWA for Trident, who decided this season it actually wanted to be competitive. 2 pole positions, 4 race victories, 7 podiums, and now Doohan found himself in a straight title fight with his old rival Hauger. The Trident was running well that year, but he was still up against one of the Prema cars, meaning the competition was a bit like me walking into a club full of the non-suicidal Love Island contestants. Doohan kept Hauger honest, however, with some fantastic performances, particularly in the wet conditions, and at the penultimate round in Zandvoort, still had a mathematical chance at snatching away the title. That mathematical chance suddenly looked a lot more plausible when Hauger here made the mistake of thinking Ido Cohen knew how to drive, and now Doohan looked to take away a significant chunk of Hauger's advantage. Oh, hang on, where's he gone? This bottle job would effectively seal the title for Hauger, though at least Doohan ended the year on a high with a win at the final round in Russia, before racing there got a little bit too controversial for some reason. Regardless, rather than go on an early holiday, Jack managed to nab a seat in F2 for the final 2 rounds of the season, and instead of falling on his arse like many trying this route have in the past, he actually did rather well, with 2-point scoring finishes and the best finish of 5th at the Human Rights Grand Prix. That good form would hold Doohan in good stead as he made the decision to step up into Formula 2 full-time for 2022, except he wouldn't be with Red Bull, the Australian opting to ditch his Austrian Masters for the French, claiming it gave him a better job at securing a seat in Formula 1. A rather interesting comment in a year which saw this happen. Signing with frontrunners Virtuosi Racing and being paired with Marino Sato, meaning there'd be no teammate pressure whatsoever, Doohan hit the ground running with a maiden victory at Silverstone, followed by 2 more wins in Hungary and Belgium. That left him in a very respectable 6th in the standings come the end of the year, and for 2023, Jack was ready to make a title bid. That wouldn't be easy in a field that contained talent like Ollie Behrman, Teo Porcher and a pre-washed Victor Martins, and at the end it wasn't to be. Doohan was consistent throughout, but his late burst of speed in the second half of the season was too late to warrant any serious title charge. He entered the year in 3rd, and now set his sights on, well, actually nothing. 2024 has seen Doohan out of the race car, and instead working out exactly how to whatever Alpine have been playing at recently. Quite frankly, his chance at an F1 seat looks slim at best, but if the teammate situation were to implode to the point where one of Ocon or Gasly left, I guess there was a chance. Maybe this is what he meant by a better shot at an F1 seat when he joined 2 years ago. How do I think this guy will fare in Formula 1? Well, if I'm honest, there are a lot of unknowns here. This isn't the driver who's flown up the ranks and taken the sport by storm. Instead, I'd argue he's more of a Logan Sargent signing. And I mean, just look at the Williams team's reaction to him getting dropped for next year. On camera, the guy comes across well though, so good luck to the lad, and let's hope Alpine have driven out the circus by the time he arrives in 2025. But that then is your little history lesson on Jack Doohan here. Now I can sit back, watch Schumacher get that drive, and beat my head furiously against the wall again. You know what we'll do? Mick, congratulations. Now you see I can't be wrong. If you enjoyed the video, I'm on a mission to find some relevancy in this summer break, so a like on this one and a sub to the channel would really mean a lot. A huge thank you to the members and patrons as well, they got this video early, so if that sounds interesting, head over to the links in the description down below. I'll be back very soon with another video, but until then, have a good one.